Hello all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As part of Fusion Financial's training video series, I'll be talking about Fusion GL translation process in today's video. So this is the part of my Fusion training video series. So this is what I'll be talking about, how to perform translation. So before we get into the translation process, so first understand what is translation and why do we need to perform the translation process. So the simple definition is translation is a process of converting the GL balances of all the accounts from ledger currency to another reporting currency or maybe a translation currency. So just converting the balances from one currency into another currency. But why do we need to do that? What is the business reason for that? So let me explain this with a business use case. See, this is my Reliance enterprise structure. Within this structure, I have Reliance INR ledger, Reliance USD ledger, and Reliance Canadian ledger. So, Reliance being an Indian entity, it has operations in India, US, as well as Canada in this example. So, for the Indian operations, we have Reliance INR ledger where the functional currency is INR. For US operations, we have Reliance USD ledger, and for Canadian operations, I have Reliance Canadian ledger where the functional currency is CAD. Now, but from a consolidated financial reporting, so obviously the consolidated ledger will be a consolidated ledger and the functional currency of consolidated ledger would be INR. So in order to perform a consolidated financial reporting, I can do that from the consolidated ledger, but in order to do that, I need to obviously push the data from all the ledgers into my consolidated ledger. So from Reliance INR ledger, I can straight away run the consolidation process and push the data to your consolidation ledger, because in both, in this case, the Reliance INR ledger function currency is INR, and for my consolidation ledger, the functional currency is also INR. But how about pushing the data from USD and Canadian ledger? I cannot directly push the data from Reliance USD ledger into consolidated ledger because the functional currencies are different. So in order to do this, I need to run a process called translation. So translation is a process which will help me in converting the balances under Reliance USD ledger from USD, which is a functional currency, into INR. Same is the case. I need to run translation process even for Reliance Canadian ledger in this example to convert the numbers into INR, and then run the consolidation process to push the data from the translated ledgers into my consolidated ledger. Anyways, I'll talk about more on the consolidation process in my next video. So in order to run the consolidation process, obviously translation is the one of the prerequisites. So we will discuss about that particular translation process in the current video. So in order to perform the translation process, there are certain steps which I need to perform. So the first thing is I need to ensure that there is exchange rates available in the system, period end rate and period average rate, and I should ensure that there is a reporting currency specified for the ledger. I should also ensure the cumulative translation adjustment account is mentioned in the ledger, and then I can run the translation process, and then I can run the trial balance report for the translation ledger to check the balances. Okay, so first thing would be to so I need to bring this to third step. So the first step would be to ensure that the reporting currency is defined for my ledger. Now this is the task, manage reporting currencies. So let me copy this. Let me get into Fusion environment. Okay. Go to setup and maintenance. So manage reporting currencies. Okay, this task require a scope. So I should not be going here and doing a global search. Rather, I should search for that in the specific functional area, Gen Ledger. So I can search for that manage reporting currencies here. So pick up any one of these. So manage reporting currencies. So select the scope. The scope is, in this case, Reliance USD is the ledger. Click on apply and go to task. So if you want to add a new translation currency, click on plus and add that, and here I already added my INR as my reporting currency, and hence I can see that. But if you want to add, so you need to click on this specify your translation ledger name, so you can just give any meaningful name. So in this case I have given Reliance INR. I will not save this, but I'll enter whatever the details which are required. I'll not save because it's already a record already exists. And currency conversion limit, so generally we should go for balances. And currency, what is the currency for your reporting? So my currency is INR. I want to convert my numbers from USD into INR, so I need to select INR. Is INR. Okay, so probably INR is not coming here because I had already added INR. So maybe, yeah, that's fine. I'll just try to explain. So I'm just picking up something, but otherwise you need to select INR here. And period average rate type. So as far as the translation is concerned, when the translation process runs, system will convert or translate your P&L accounts, which is your expenses or revenue account, using your period average rate, and it will convert or translate your balance sheet accounts using your period end rate. So what exactly is the period average rate type? So I am specifying my period average rate type should be period average. So these are all the user different rate types. You can give any rate type, but from a system perspective, you need to associate that concerned rate type here. So I want to use a rate type of period average. So I'm selecting that. And in the next step, we need to go to this rate types and define the exchange rates. Period end rate. So for balance sheet, as I mentioned, for balance sheet, system will use the period end rate types. So what is my period end rate type? I can specify maybe corporate. I can just say period end. Maybe I'll just go for corporate. So again, under this conversion rate type, I need to specify the exchange rate. And revenue expense translation rule. So as far as the revenue and expense is concerned, whether system needs to use from a translation perspective PTD balance or YTD balance. So generally for revenue expenses, we consider PTD. And for owner's equity translation rule, so this will be generally YTD. Select this and click on save and close. Okay, I will not do this because I do not want to select IDR as my reporting currency. I want to select INR, which I had already did here. So click on this. You can see I had already did this. So that is my first step. And second thing is ensure that the cumulative translation adjustment account is mentioned under specified ledger options. Okay, so cancel this. Go to your specified ledger option, which is this one, and select the scope. Okay, let me try to, yeah, specified ledger options is this one. But why does it say primary and secondary? I just want to select only primary ledger. Let me search this again. Okay, specified ledger option, select the scope. Reliance US. If you do not specify your cumulative translation adjustment account, then when you run your translation for the first time, system will throw an error message. So scroll down. So I have already specified my translation adjustment account, which you can see here. So this is the translation adjustment account which has mentioned. That is my second step. And the third step is enter the exchange rates, period end and period average rate types. So under period end and period average rate types, which we have specified under your reporting currency setup. Okay, for those rate types, for period end we have given the exchange rate type of corporate, and for period average we have given an exchange rate type of period average. That's the name. So for those two conversion rate type, I need to specify my exchange rates. So go to manage daily rates task. So click on cancel and then go to your global search for manage daily rates, and this is for from currency USD to INR. So let me check if there are exchange rates available. Okay, USD to INR for period average. I want to run my translation process for December, so I just want to check if there is any period average rates available for December. Okay, period average rate is already available here. So generally period average rate for, as far as daily rates is concerned, you specify the daily rate for each of the day. But as far as the period average rates are concerned, in general, in a real live environment, we generally specify period average rate for the last day of the month. Let's assume for some reason, if you do not enter period average rate in this example for December 31st, then system will go and check if there are any period average rates available in the system on 30th of December. If it is not available in 30th of December, it will look for the period average rate on 29th and so on, right? But otherwise, it really makes sense to enter your uh, period average rate for the last day of the month, because that's basically average of all the rates of that particular month. And if you do not have these period average rates available in the system, click on create in spreadsheet. A spreadsheet gets downloaded. Open the spreadsheet, enable editing. Okay, when you do that, it will ask you to connect to the environment, so click on yes. Enter the username, password. Okay, let me stop sharing and look for my username, password, and then I'll continue. Let me stop sharing. Okay, I got my password, so let me continue sharing my screen. Okay, so if you do not have the exchange rate, so you need to specify your from currency to currency conversion rate. This is basically conversion rate type. So if it's a period average, enter period average. From currency, this is from conversion date and to conversion date. So the date would be, it should be mm, dd, yy format. So December 12th, what is the conversion rate? Maybe 83.55 something. And whether you want to insert or delete, we want to insert, right? So just click on this and click on submit. So once that is done, you can requery here and immediately exchange rate should be available here. So the same is the case with the period end rate. So as far as the period end rate type is concerned, I have selected corporate. So let me check for corporate if there are any exchange rates available. Yes, there are exchange rates available for corporate. Okay, so that is the third step. And now let me go and run the translation process. So if I run the translation process, if there are any journal balances which are available in this environment, for those balances, system will try to run the translation. So let me go to the translation process, and the navigation for that would be general accounting, period close, translate balances. So data access set is my Reliance USD ledger set is Reliance USD, and you can see a target currency is INR. INR is defaulted, and the drop down do not show anything else. The reason being, this is the only reporting currency which I have selected in my step 1, and that's defaulted. If there is more than one particular reporting currency which if I would have set under this particular step, then the other currency would have come in the drop down, and accounting period is December. And if you want to run the translation for any specific business reason for only certain specific balancing segment values, enter that, otherwise leave it blank. In general, we run it for all the balancing segment values. So there is a process ID ending with 847 got triggered. So go to your schedule process and check if that particular process completed successfully. If you miss out to perform any of these 3 steps, or rather maybe these 2 steps, then generally your translation process might fail. See, in this case, my translation process is completed successfully. Okay. Now, in order to see my translated numbers, I need to run the trial balance. So what I'll do is first run the trial balance in the USD ledger, in the USD currency, which is my functional currency, and then I'll run the trial balance for my translated ledger so that you can see the differences. Okay, so schedule a new process. So let me run the trial balance. search for trial balance. I mean, there are different kind of trial balance reports. So probably generate a trial balance extra, trial balance report. So let me run the last one, trial balance report. So you can see it lists the period debits, credit, beginning and ending balance summarized by national account. So select OK. So first let me run this in the USD, which is the functional currency, and I want to run it for December 2024. And my amount type should be YTD. Submit this. Cross ID ending with 851 got triggered. And while it is running, let me also run the trial balance for my reporting ledger. So in order to do that, click on the drop down and select Reliance INR. That's the reporting currency. Select this, and you can see INR is automatically defaulted here. And again, my period is December 2024. That's the period which has some balances in this environment. So there is cross ID ending with 853 got triggered. See, this is the functional currency. So this is completed. Let me open this trial balance. Functional currency USD. So these are the numbers. Now let me check the reporting currency. Okay, this is also completed. Reporting currency is completed. So let me check the output. Republish, export, PDF. So this is for the reporting currency. Here you can see reporting currency is INR. Okay, where was that? Okay, this is the functional currency in USD and this is the reporting currency in INR. And here you can see the numbers. This USD numbers are converted into INR using period end rate for balance sheet account and period average rate for the P&L account. And any difference, obviously, as you are using different exchange rates types for different accounts, P&L versus balance sheet account, so there will be some rounding, there will be some balancing figure, and that particular balancing figure goes to your cumulative translation adjustment account. So this is the reason why cumulative translation adjustment account is mandatory to be set up in the ledger, without which your translation process goes into error. Thank you. Thanks for watching my video. For interesting videos on Oracle Fusion Financials, please do subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk about the consolidation process in my next video. Thank you.